West Texas News. News West 9 Early Sunrise starts now.
Good morning. Welcome to News West 9 Early Sunrise. Happy St. Patrick's Day. It's Thursday, March 17th at 5 a.m. I'm Alicia Lavelle.
And I'm Jessica Ryan. Thanks for joining us here on Early Sunrise. We saw a very warm day yesterday. It's going to be pretty hot today, actually. We're going to get up into the 90s, believe it or not.
Good day for St. Patrick's Day.
I know. Can you believe it? All the way up into the 90s. Here's a look at current temperatures outside this morning. We're seeing 63 in Big Spring and in Midland, 64 in Odessa, 57 in Fort Stockton, 66 in Sanderson. And as we get you set here for your St. Patrick's Day, we'll be about 60 at 9 a.m., 80 by noon, and we'll top out near 92 degrees by the time we get to 5 o'clock this afternoon. Area forecast today, 89 in Seminole, 94 for Kermit, 97 in Presidio. We'll see a mostly sunny sky. Winds will be out of the south at 10 to 20 miles per hour, 91 for Carlsbad and Andrews, 94 in Monahans. I'll have a look at your Storm Tracker 9 5-day forecast all the way into the weekend here in a few minutes.
This morning, Midland police are still searching for a teen who rammed a stolen car into a police cruiser. It happened at the West Park Apartments around 6:30 last night. The cops say they found a stolen Hyundai in the parking lot. They say 19-year-old Javoric Coleman got into the car and then took off. When police caught up with him, we're told he jumped out of the car while it was still moving and the car hit a police cruiser. Coleman ran away. There was no damage to the cruiser and no one was hurt. And if you have any information on where Coleman is, you're asked to call police at the number you see on your screen. Not all West Texas kids left the area for spring break. Many are staying home and they're causing trouble. Midland police told News West 9 that they see an increase in juvenile crime surging every year during vacation. News West 9 rode along with police to find out exactly how many cases of juvenile crimes they see during spring break. The officer we rode with said the majority of his calls this week were for juveniles. Cops say they see more cases of criminal mischief like car keying, egging, thefts, and burglaries, plus an overall increase in vandalism. They're asking residents to do their part to protect property.
We're not looking at anything life-threatening or dangerous, but it's just kind of a nuisance. And we're looking at a loss of property, damage to property, that sort of thing. So, yeah, if they could kind of keep the doors locked, keep the exterior lights on if they hear anything outside.
Police also suggest that you report any unusual activity that you might see. It's great news for Odessa College. They are officially off the state's chopping block. The House Appropriations Committee voted to restore state funding to OC and 3 other community colleges. The House had previously cut them out of the state budget. Now, it hasn't been approved yet, but President Gregory Williams says they are grateful for the news. He credits the hard work of State Representative Tryon Lewis and State Senator Kel Seliger, along with the support of the whole community. The college will soon start construction projects under the $68.5 million bond approved by voters. Crews in Ward County are dealing with a well blowout. It happened around 9 yesterday morning just north of Barstow. Now, the rig was drilling for natural gas, and as a precaution, one family was evacuated from their home that was about a mile away from the rig. The blowout didn't start any fires and no one was hurt. At last check, equipment was still on the way and they were trying to get that blowout under control. Those high gas and oil prices aren't all bad. They're actually helping to create jobs all over the basin. Workforce Solutions of the Permian Basin tells News West 9 they've seen a huge jump in the number of available jobs and postings coming into their centers. Oilfield companies like BJ Services, Halliburton, Schlumberger, and Basic Energy are all hiring thanks to a boom in the local industry. Workforce officials say people are leaving their minimum wage jobs to snatch up those higher pay and benefits in the oil fields.
The oil and gas pretty well drives our economy. And I would say that they represent about 22% of our industry sector. We could actually be hiring 500 truck drivers right today if we had that many truck drivers hired with training, with skills. They could actually go to work, like right now.
The food service industry, school districts, and others are also hiring. Now, experts say this is just the beginning. There could actually be an even bigger increase come April. Ector County and its former elections administrator have reached a settlement. Robert Mendoza was fired from the county back in 2007. Now, he claimed he was wrongfully terminated and he filed suit. In exchange for an undisclosed cash element from the county, Mendoza is now dropping his lawsuit. Neither he nor the county will admit any wrongdoing, and also under that deal, he won't have a firing on his record. He will resign. The former principal of Barbara Jordan Elementary still hasn't responded to police. Now we're told Jan Brown is in Dallas right now taking care of a sick relative. You'll remember Brown was charged with lying to a peace officer last month. She first came under investigation by the Texas Rangers after discrepancies showed up in the school's activity fund. According to the criminal complaint, Brown lied about some invoices that involved a Harvard alumni reunion conference. Police have caught a man they say shot another man in a Midland street earlier this week. The SWAT team took 20-year-old Robert Thomas Jr. into custody on Tuesday night. They found him at a home on East Parker. He's charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. Police say Thomas fired 3 shots at the victim. That was 42-year-old Joe Laris. Laris was hit in the calf and also a bullet grazed his back. He has been since treated and released from the hospital. Police say the shooting stemmed from a verbal argument between the two men right before the shooting. A 5-month-old boy was taken to the hospital with a broken arm, and now an Odessa couple faces charges for his injuries. Excuse me, 22-year-old Paca Luna and 20-year-old Sabrina Rosa are both charged in that crime. Now we're told police started investigating after the baby's grandmother took him to the hospital back in January. An examination found the child's arm was broken. In the arrest report, both Luna and Rosa say they didn't know how the child was injured, even though they were the only ones with him at the time. Luna has been charged with injury to a child causing serious bodily injury, and Rosa is charged with endangering a child. The Howard County grand jury meets today, but it doesn't look like there will be any indictments handed out in the Haley Dunn case. Mitchell County authorities found child pornography on a computer inside the home of Sean Adkins' mother in Big Spring last month. Now, Adkins is the only person of interest named in the disappearance of the 13-year-old girl. Howard County District Attorney Hardy Wilkerson tells us no child pornography cases will be going before the grand jury today, and he also hasn't received the case from investigators. A grand jury in Sweetwater also is supposed to consider evidence seized from Haley's mother's house in Colorado City. Haley Dunn disappeared back on December 27th. New owners will now take over a Presidio County mine. Tosca Mining bought the Red Hill Molly Copper project. Most of the drilling there took place back in the 1970s, but new studies on the mine have shown that there is more copper that can be dug out. Tosca will pay just under $11 million for that mine. There's a new way to entertain yourself while you're waiting for a flight at Midland International Airport. The airport is on track to offer free Wi-Fi, and it could happen sometime next month. Right now, you still have to pay nearly $6 for 2 hours of web time, or you can pay a flat rate of $20 a month. For a while, that fee was making the airport some money, but now people can get the net a lot cheaper from cell phones and mobile hotspots. Midland's Air Park is trying to get state money for improvements. Officials are applying to get $1 million from TxDOT's aviation division. Now, if the grant is approved, the asphalt near the terminal will be redone, and they'll repair the pavement and reseal concrete throughout the air park. Some new construction projects would also be on tap. The air park has to submit its grant application by this June. Midland's Habitat for Humanity will get a big gift. The Texas Department of Community Affairs is giving the organization $120,000. That money will go to help homeowners lower their mortgage rates, and it's only for households making less than $50,000 a year. Coming up next, the News West 9 Early Sunrise. The threat of nuclear meltdown in Japan is causing one Texas town considering a nuclear plant to squirm a little bit more. We'll take a closer look at the debate when we come back. Plus, it's the moving story of a young boy who's recovering from a terrible accident. His inspirational journey is next. Stay with us.